The Orioles do have the right guy on the mound. Well, you would think they do. Let's see what Tyler Wells can do. You know, I would really like to get Adley Rushman going. You know what? I think you need a day off. I can't believe I'm going to do that, but I feel like I need to. Because Adley is just not getting it done. The Royals pitching has been lights out.
Back outside. One ball, one strike.
I gotta figure out what it takes to hit with Cedric Mons.
Aye. One ball, two strikes. Aye. Ball one. Two balls, no strikes.
I hope everybody is having a good evening. The Grinkster is on the mound.
Ball four. Take the base.
He works a one-out walk. Now, Gunnar Henderson.
That is good.
Give me 1 second.
All one's the count.
The Grinkster, Grinko Rooney.
Ball. Ball one, no strike. Ball two.
I'd have been very upset if that's how the game started.
Nope, outside. Ball. Ball, that pitch is out.
Come on, Tyler.
Count full.
Batting third, the first baseman, Vinny Pasquantino.
Let's go, Mr. Love.
1-0. Hey! Ball, that's down. Aye. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We got full count. Aye.
You are the doctor.
No balls, 2 strikes. That's a ball. Nope, that's a ball.
Drop. Nope. Because I forgot. The Kansas City Royals have the best pitching staff in baseball.
I got a ball, 1 strike. One ball, 2 strikes.
Let's go.
0-1. He's out.
All right.
Hey. Outside, that's a ball.
Batting fifth, the shortstop, Bobby Witt
1-1.
Jr.
Count 1-0. Ball, that's out. Ball, down. Well, 1-1. Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two, yeah. He's out.
There we go. 3-6-3.
Batting seventh, the center fielder, Drew Water.
Ball 1, no strikes. Hey.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Got him. All ones the count. Hey! 0-2 is the count. Ball one. One ball,
I'm very.
2 strikes. That's a ball. Three.
Leading up for the Royals, the third baseman, Nicky Lopez.
Ball, that's out. That's a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Count full.
Oh.
Hey. I got 1 ball, 1 strike. That's ball 2. 2-2 the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nope. Ball 4. Out. Hey. Hey. Hey.
Gonna get swept by the Kansas City Royals. Yep. Because that. Because of their top-notch pitching staff that they have.
Ball inside. One ball, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes.
You're really playing with fire. How's the audio? Does the audio sound good? Video recording?
Oh, you do still exist. Horrible. Yeah. Because life sucks and then you die, like Vince always said years ago. Nothing I want to talk about while I'm streaming. Yeah, I don't know why. So where you been? You've been MIA for like the last week. I was sitting in chat all day yesterday and you were signed on. You just never came in chat. Now you did text me and finally say you were asleep. I guess you left your PlayStation on then. Hmm. Oh, that sounds lovely. Hmm. There's disadvantages to that. Oh, I'm just over everything. I mean, speaking of somebody who worked there for years, their pricing is pretty competitive with what's out there. That's not probably, depending on the specs, that's probably not a bad price. I mean, there aren't a lot of, as far as getting a computer built, unless you go right through the manufacturer of whatever the brand is, there aren't a lot of options to get a computer built. And the thing is, if you go right through the manufacturer, you're paying an arm, leg, and a lung. Exactly. So can I assume, since you're looking at a $4,000 computer, that you want to get more serious about the streaming thing? Well, I mean, and that's another reason why I have cut down my time in chats, because one thing Amos pointed out to me, like when I'm streaming, if I'm sitting in a chat talking to you or Epp or Gabe or Amish or whoever, I'm not talking about my game or not even talking about like baseball in general. And especially if I don't have like the your end of the chat coming through it's like I'm making no nonsensical Like right now, if somebody listens to this stream, it's not going to make any sense. Honestly, until I saw you said you joined, I forgot that I put myself in the party chat. But then the other side of it is, I mean, I haven't come in here. The other reason because I haven't seen you on that much. I don't see Amish on because, well, that's still a thing. Doesn't make sense why it's still a thing, but it's still a thing.
It just doesn't make sense. There's no rhyme or reason.
I mean,
Oh, you got a one of it. Is there really another Amish guy on kick? First view from Idaho. Dude, how is it?
I'm just tired of, I'm just in general tired of trying to be everything for everybody. Let me, but then, like, and I realize you can't be everything, right? But but like, when I'm struggling, those same people are never around. Or if they're around, they may act interested, but you can hear the disinterest in their voice. It's like I'd rather you just tell me. I'd almost rather you say just go away. I've had enough of people pretending to care. Oh.
I don't know what it is, man. We had the third best offense in the National League this year, and now all of a sudden we just can't. We just don't know what a hit is. What makes you race here? I don't have a number in my name. You should have done Amish guy in Idaho. That would have been funny. He's pretty sharp. Over in game one.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what this next patch brings. Well, no, I'm just saying, what in general, I mean, the patch might fix some of the issues you were having with whatever the mode's called. I can't even. I mean, because we got to be getting a patch tomorrow or Wednesday, because the DLC drops Wednesday.
What's the weather at right there?
I'm also truly trying to figure out how. I see so many channels that are clearly not MLB channels or NBA channels or NFL channels that post highlights or video clips or whatever term you want to use, right? And they're posting them constantly. Like, that's all their channel is. But yet, their channels are active, their channels are fine, like, but yet,
I need to watch your,
in the last week, I've had 2 YouTube shorts of mine get copyright claims. Not strikes. So it's like, the content's fine, but I got copyright claims. I did a YouTube short for Ellie De La Cruz's first Major League home run, and I did one for one of my favorite baseball games I've ever watched in my life, which was not an Oriole game. I did like the main key play for, and both of them. It's like, so what are these other channels? I'm genuinely curious. I'm not like trying to get any other channels in trouble or like point finger, but what are they doing that I'm not? Or, I mean, because from what I understand, copyright claims are not that big of a deal, because you can, like, because most of the time, I've gotten copyright claims before and it says your video is fine. Strikes are what you got to worry about. For all I know, I guess these other channels could be getting copyright claims too, but obviously it doesn't make you pull your video. I just, like you sort of alluded to it the other day. Copyright is the biggest joke in the world. Like, okay, yes, if you take a product that's not, like, if I was to take Star Wars somehow, and my sole source of income in my life is Star Wars, okay, does Disney or George Lucas have a right to come after me? Well, more so Disney right now. Sure, but I don't know. Speaking of George Lucas and Disney, did you hear the rumor that's been all the craze on the interweb the last few days? So, just because and you'll love the irony of this because I know you're a big fan of the mouse. I know you're a huge Disney mark. You're one of their biggest supporters.
Of course.
You think Bob Iger should run for president? The CEO of Disney, who's actually contemplated running for president before, but anyway, and actually, the current CEO, Bob Iger's not, but anyway, there's rumors that something's going on between Comcast, Hulu, and Disney, and it's going to cost Disney like buku bucks. Like they're hemorrhaging. Basically, the rumor I heard was Disney is hemorrhaging, could be hemorrhaging money, which it's funny when you say that to a regular everyday person, how Disney's hemorrhaging money when their parks make more in one day than most average people will see in multiple lifetimes. Anyway, so there's a rumor going around that Disney may sell Lucasfilms to, drumroll please, George Lucas. Could you imagine the irony of Disney selling Lucasfilms back to George Lucas? You would love that, wouldn't you? And obviously, if if they're hemorrhaging quote unquote money, and let's face it, and I'm saying this as a Star Wars fan, Disney has not done the Star Wars brand any favors in the 11 years that since they bought Star Wars from George Lucas. So I would say there's a decent chance that if they were to sell the company back to George Lucas is going to make a nice profit, because there's no way he's going to be buying buying Star Wars for the same price he sold it for. Wouldn't you agree? Now, the main reason why I don't believe this rumor is, if you read Bob Iger's book, the current CEO of Disney, that he wrote a book a few years after he originally acquired Star Wars, and he talked about the original meeting with George and how George was really I just totally lost my train of thought because I gave up a 2-run homer. I'm about to get swept by the Kansas City Royals. You know, it's just... But he was supposedly one of the... couple of the reasons besides money that he decided to sell to Disney in the first place was he was sold on this idea that, oh, you're not getting any younger, you don't have any children, any family to leave the company to. What's going to happen to Lucasfilms after you die? Well, and let's face it, the other thing is, and this is where I say Star Wars fans have no one to blame but themselves for George selling to Disney in the first place. George faced so much backlash because people didn't like the prequels that I know that played a big part in him selling. You know what I mean? So it's like, be careful what you're criticizing, because you're going to end up with something quote unquote worse that you don't like. Well, last time I checked, George still has no heirs, and now the Clone Wars and some different things have made people look at the prequels a lot differently than they did 20 years ago. But I mean, now Disney selling something back to the original creator is not unheard of. I don't know if you know this. They did that with Power Rangers.
I bet they had that little icon on, like, where you zone in, where you find where the squadron is going to be in.
Yeah, for about a 10-year period, they owned Power Rangers. I forget what year they bought them, but they paid like, I think they paid like $2 billion for them. Owned them for 10 years, and then ended up selling them back to the original creator for what essentially, and I feel funny saying this, amounts to pennies on the dollar. Now, when you're talking about that kind of money, it feels weird saying pennies on the dollar, because again, it's more money than any of us. But let's face it. If George were to buy Star Wars back, I'm sure it would be a pennies on the dollar type. You know what I mean? I don't know. Now, if you ask me, do I believe this rumor? No. I think there's a better chance of you learning how to fly than George Lucas reacquiring Star Wars. I'm saying you physically learning how to fly. I'm saying you not needing to get in the car to go to work. You could just flap your wings and fly there. There's a better chance of that happening than I think George Lucas reacquiring Star Wars. I mean, realistically, what do you think the odds of him being able to reacquire? Well, the other part of it is, if this is true, and I have no way of knowing if it is, my understanding from the original deal when he sold Star Wars was, and don't quote the numbers, but I had heard that it was a $4 billion deal, but it was $2 billion, quote unquote, cash, and $2 billion in stock options. Now, if Disney is quote unquote hemorrhaging money, like the report said, that is making them even think about reselling this to George, then those stocks cannot be worth what they were back then. So so in a way, I don't see how he could make some huge profit on it anyway. You know what I mean? How can you sell don't get me wrong, I realize Disney's a huge company, but how do you sell one person $2 billion in stock options and then not basically own the company? How much? Good Lord. So how much must Disney itself actually be worth? You should look that up. Watch. Now that I'm saying there's no chance it actually happened, it'll be announced tomorrow that George Lucas has reacquired Star Wars, and you're going to end up texting me and be like, what were you saying last night? But yeah, okay, so hell, $4 billion of them chump change. Yeah. You have to admit though, if they were to resell the company back to George, you realize the egg they would have on their face? Because that would be them admitting that the prequel or the sequel trilogy sucked. Well, that was from the prequels. That wasn't the sequels. That was George. Well, I'm about to get swept by the Kansas City Royals. What, the fact that Vegas don't even want them? What, the fact that Vegas, they won 5 straight and Vegas doesn't even want them? Did you hear about that? Apparently, yeah. To make they blocked the bill to make the stadium publicly funded. So basically saying if you want to come here, you have to find some private investors or build the stadium yourself. Which if they could afford to do that, they wouldn't need to leave Oakland because they could just build themselves.
Want to see me on the big screen? We'll do it. Good opportunity here, first and second, one down here in Torres.
I think I'm going to bed once I finish this game. I'm not feeling well. My head is killing me. Yeah. No. I don't know. I got too much stuff on my mind.
The slider. Where it strikes out. I don't have play vision like the AI do. I'm sorry. I just don't. Alright. Got the Nolan Jones here. Who ought to be a little bit more.
Nothing to really talk about in honesty. I just... Yeah, it's just a female version of Seth's belt. I mean, it's... I mean, to me what they're doing is smart, because that way if they ever have to do a hand over the title, well, they don't even have to do a hand over the title thing, because it's not a SmackDown and a Raw belt anymore. It's a Universal and a World. Well, so so here's so here's the issue that people are having with, essentially, Asuka and Roman's belts are, they look this, they that's why the same, just like Rhea and Seth's belt, you know because they want the belts on the brands to match. But here is the issue. On the SmackDown side of things, it